Lockport Township High School District 205, parents and guardians. My name is Bob McBride, Superintendent of Lockport Township High School. And first and foremost, happy holidays. More than anything else, on the behalf of the Board of Education and myself, our staff, our administrative team, our students, our entire community, we hope that over the next 2 weeks, when we exit on Friday, December 22nd, for winter break, that you and your family have a safe, have a restful, and have a joyous holiday season, however you celebrate. This is your board meeting brief for the Board of Education meeting that we had on Monday, December 18th in the Porter Room here at East Campus. I'm in a different location than the Porter Room. I'm in one of the additions at East Campus that I'll come back to a little bit later in this video. There are two issues among many that we handled at the Board of Education meeting that I think that are most important to share with you. The first is Central, both in terms of its repair and construction, and then also in terms of a referendum issue that our board has put on the March 19th ballot. And then also, one of the most consequential things our board does, passing an annual tax levy to fund our high school district. Let's talk about Central first. Friday, December 15th marks 1 month that we have been at Lincoln Way North. So far, students are successfully in place as freshmen at a brand new building that we're very lucky to be able to use with Lincoln Way School District 210. Kids are moved in, they're in a rhythm, but we are already starting to think about adjustments that we can make. And probably the most important adjustment that we'll be announcing this week is a change in the schedule for second semester. We want to elongate that day just a little bit to increase the time that students spend in class. So you'll see more information and detail about that. But also, we've received many questions about construction and repair at Central. And the most frequent question that we've received is, why is it taking so long? That ceiling collapse took place on November 1st. What's happening? Great question. There is a whole process, both with board policy, board work, and state law that we have to follow when we are doing construction projects. Many of you know we had forensic architects in after I had to close the building to make sure that it was safe. We discovered that we had 3 rooms whose ceiling structures our forensic architects put in red, and then about 14 rooms that those forensic architects put in orange, proposing a moderate risk. Our Board of Education decided that all of those rooms had to be repaired. We spent the last month with that forensic report, our architects from DLA developing plans, but like with so many construction plans, we took a pause and said, wait a minute, are there other things that we should properly be doing when we demolish those ceilings and put new ones in? For example, when we take those ceilings out in rooms at Central, it's a perfect opportunity to have structural engineers come through and do a visual inspection and recommend anything that they think needs to be repaired before we put new ceilings up. All of that increases the time that we have to take. So we're seeing 3 phases. First phase is demolition of the ceilings. Second phase is a structural engineering examination of what is up in those ceilings. Third phase is doing any suggested structural repairs and restoring those ceilings. But in the meantime, we have to give construction companies time to bid on those jobs, time to review those bids, and also time for our Board of Education to approve a successful construction company. I know we're asking for your patience, but we've really decided as a Board of Education to do it right rather than do it quickly. And we will be providing you updates as we go, when we expect all of our work to be done at Central and when we think students will come back, if they can come back this school year. Another important part of the discussion about Central is in terms of the ballot issue that our board has put on the March 19th primary election for a bond referendum. What is a bond referendum? In essence, it is asking your authorization as the taxpayers to take out an $85 million loan to properly renovate Central Campus so that we can properly house freshmen from 7 different feeder districts and 2 private school systems. In many ways, we are looking for a solution for our 1,000 students. I'm standing here in an addition at East Campus because one of the questions that has come up about this referendum is, why not just add on to East? Actually, at East Campus, we've already added on many times, adding a field house, an auditorium, this whole back section to East Campus. In many ways, we've built out as much as we could on this property. Another question that's come out is, why not build behind East Campus? Why not build out at Cedar Road? The answer that we have for that is time and money. Time. To build brand new buildings, it would be 3 to 3.5 years before any of our freshmen occupied those buildings. But also, money. A new freshman center, our architects estimate, would cost about $145 million. A new 9 through 12 high school building, $180 to $200 million. After analyzing the tax burden that would put on our entire community, our board felt that wouldn't be something that taxpayers could support, raising their taxes anywhere between $550 to $800 a year, especially when we believe that there's a more economical opportunity with renovating Central. So rather than asking for $145 million, $180 to $200 million, our board believes it can renovate Central Campus at $85 million. If you go to our website and you wonder how that would impact you, there is a tax calculator on that website that can show you exactly what that calculation would mean for you and for your home and for your annual property tax bill. It also presents an exciting opportunity to take a vintage building, important to the community, filled with history, where 114 years of porters have walked through, and restore and renew that building. We had a survey out last week asking you what you might think about that. Hope you had a chance to do that. It closed on Monday. We have another survey that will be coming up, just asking to hear your voice about renovating Central and what is possible. We also had an important discussion about our annual tax levy in a period where we are still, as schools, you still are experiencing inflation. Our board this fall had 6 different meetings about this tax levy because it's so important, and it's important for you and for your family and costs that you face. The strategy that our board ultimately settled on is a strategy to fund our budget, to ensure that any new property, we estimate about $40 million worth of new property, is also part of the levy, but also provide some immediate property tax relief for you, especially in our operating budget if we're asking you to increase the bond and interest budget with a referendum issue. Our board decided on a 6.28% increase in the levy over last year. Now, that doesn't mean that your taxes will go up 6.28%. What it means is the total ask from the whole community, about $2.3 billion worth of property, would go up by that 6.28%. But at the same time, our board decided to discount the entire levy to give some property tax relief to you by the total amount of bond debt interest that we paid, a discount of about $1.3 million, so that every taxpayer immediately in the spring and immediately in the upcoming fall feel some easing and some relief on your property taxes, at least what you pay to Lockport Township High School. We hope that combination of a levy that fully funds our budget, looks out into the future to make sure that we have healthy trend lines well into the future for future porters, but also begins a strategy that we hope is multi-year, this year, next year, and in coming years, that abates some funds back to you to give you some relief. We hope that strategy is beneficial to all concerned. Thank you so much for listening to this board meeting brief for the board meeting that we had on Monday, December 18th. Again, happy holidays, all the best, and I can't wait to be serving you, working with you in what I hope is a wonderful 2024. Happy New Year.